My name is Oren Herskowitz, and I'm the Senior Vice President of Intellectual Property and Technology Transfer for Columbia University. I'm also the Executive Director of Columbia Technology Ventures, which I'll explain in a moment. And I serve on a number of advisory committees for the City of New York, the state, and the federal government, including the National Advisory Council on Innovation and Entrepreneurship, which advises the Secretary of Commerce on matters relating to innovation, technology, entrepreneurship, economic development, and workforce development. We are incredibly proud of the work that Dr. Park and Dr. Zhou have done here at Columbia in the research labs that led to the development of green ore, and also incredibly proud of their collaboration with Baotou, one of the world's leading companies. At Columbia Technology Ventures, we work with the faculty and graduate student researchers across all of Columbia to help them translate the amazing inventions they come up with. These are more important than ever, and what we've found is that it's really only by applying this novel technology and innovation that's coming out of primarily from the world's leading research universities, but not just on their own. They need to be paired with talented entrepreneurs, venture capitalists who are willing to fund this kind of challenging early stage science, and the world's leading companies who can eventually become the consumers and customers for these startups and help those innovations really make a difference in the world, getting embedded in products that will either save or improve lives across the whole world. It's why we are particularly proud of the collaboration that is underway and that you are all celebrating. I wish I could be there to celebrate with you, but knowing that these innovations, which at Columbia we see 350 such inventions a year, but only some of them actually leave the lab and find a home either in industry or in startups. These days, we're finding that startups are often where the most exciting inventions are finding the first part of their life. Every year, we launch approximately 20 or so startups from the technology innovations coming out of Columbia. But it's often having a great idea is only the first step. You need to find talented entrepreneurs, such as the two in front of you, plus venture capitalists that are willing to fund the development of the company in the early days, and industry partners such as Baotou that can help collaborate with the startup and put all the learnings they've had over the many years, as well as their resources, to work to try and take the technology and make sure it finds a home and becomes a solution that actually makes a difference in society. In a world that is as interconnected as today's, it's increasingly important that the research community not just focus on the strengths that lie within its own country, but also to reach across borders and make connections to scientists across the world. And that's why we're very happy to have the Columbia Global Centers, like where you are today, to be able to help Columbia make those connections and sustain them in the years ahead. Columbia is increasingly dedicated to making sure that we as a university and our scientists are not just pushing the frontiers of knowledge just for its own sake, which is important. Basic research is important. But also to make sure that those innovations actually get out of the lab and can make a difference on the most challenging problems the world is facing today. So it's for all of these reasons that I wish I could be with you today to celebrate the beginning of a fantastic partnership between Green Ore and Baotou. We wish both companies all the success in the world in the years ahead.